The digital glow of 1,000 screens cast a pale light across trading floors from New York to Shanghai. On October 11, 2025, a nervous energy crackled worldwide as everyone waited for Elon Musk's next move. Rumors swirled. Was he launching a new Tesla factory, a SpaceX venture, or something even bigger? Musk's recent actions hinted at a pivot away from the US and toward the rising BRICS nations. The world watched, not just for a business update, but for a signpost to the future of global power. On X, hashtags like Triching Musk Move and Chalk Tesla BRICS trended as the world braced for a new era. Once the embodiment of the American dream, Elon Musk was a symbol of innovation and ambition, a tech visionary whose every move was watched by Wall Street and Silicon Valley alike. For years, his story was intertwined with the rise of American industry and the promise of boundless opportunity in the West. But by 2025, Musk's focus had shifted dramatically eastward. The world was changing, and so was he. No longer content to be defined by American borders, Musk began charting a new course, one that spanned continents and defied old loyalties. His travel schedule now included regular stops in Beijing, New Delhi, and São Paulo, reflecting a new era of global ambition. These cities, once distant outposts, became central hubs in Musk's expanding network. He openly praised the dynamism and energy of the BRICS markets, calling them the engines of the world's next economic boom. Musk saw in these nations a hunger for progress and a willingness to embrace bold ideas. This wasn't a whim or a passing fancy, it was a calculated, strategic response to the shifting tides of global power and economic opportunity. Musk understood that the future would be written in new languages, on new continents. Tesla's supply chains, once rooted in the West, now relied heavily on rare earth minerals and partnerships in BRICS countries. The company's global reach was expanding and its survival depended on forging new alliances. As the US turned inward and protectionist under Trump, Musk recognized the growing risks of relying on a volatile American market. Tariffs, trade wars, and political uncertainty threatened to upend everything he'd built. His pivot was a bold act of diversification, a move designed to build resilience in the face of trade wars and a world increasingly divided by political fragmentation. Musk was determined to future-proof his empire. Navigating the opaque politics of China and adapting to unfamiliar markets was no easy feat. Yet for Musk, every challenge was simply another problem to solve, another frontier to conquer. His great pivot was underway, driven by a relentless pursuit of opportunity, wherever in the world it might lead him next. The return of Trump brought economic nationalism and aggressive tariffs, hitting Tesla hard. A 100% tariff on Chinese goods and threats against BRICS nations sent shockwaves through Tesla's global supply chain. The loss of EV subsidies in the US made Tesla's cars less competitive, just as rivals surged. Musk's relationship with Washington soured as his global business model clashed with America First policies. Meanwhile, BRICS nations welcomed Musk, offering incentives and market access. The contrast was stark walls in Washington, red carpets in Beijing. For Musk, the choice was clear. Growth and innovation now lay beyond America's borders. The waning US alliance forced him to seek new partners on the global stage. As political storms raged across the globe, Tesla's once unshakable dominance in the electric vehicle market began to unravel. The company, which had long been seen as the undisputed leader in EV innovation, suddenly found itself facing a perfect storm of challenges, both internal and external. By 2024, Tesla's US market share had dropped below 50%, a dramatic fall from the 75% it held just a few years earlier. This wasn't just a minor setback, it was a seismic shift in the industry, signaling that Tesla's grip on the market was slipping fast. Competition from legacy automakers like Ford and GM, as well as a wave of nimble EV startups, surged into the market. These rivals brought fresh designs, aggressive pricing, and new technology, quickly eroding Tesla's lead and capturing the attention of consumers who once saw Tesla as the only real option. Vehicle deliveries fell sharply, down 21% in the second quarter of 2025 alone. Investors reacted swiftly, sending Tesla's stock tumbling 35% from its previous peak. The company's financial health, once a point of pride, was now a growing concern for shareholders and employees alike. The end of government EV subsidies in the US hit Tesla especially hard, making its vehicles less affordable for many buyers. Meanwhile, A lack of significant updates to its product lineup left Tesla showrooms looking dated compared to the competition, further dampening sales. In China, the world's largest EV market, Tesla's market share plummeted from 11% to just 4% by May 2025. Local brands like BYD and NIO surged ahead, offering vehicles that better match the preferences and budgets of Chinese consumers. Chinese buyers increasingly demanded vehicles with localized features, advanced infotainment, in-car payment systems, and unique design touches. Tesla's global standardization strategy, once seen as efficient, now seemed out of touch with local needs, causing its appeal to fade. The initial excitement around Tesla's brand wore off, and its failure to adapt quickly to changing market demands led to sharp declines in both sales and public perception. The company's aura of innovation was now being questioned. As Elon Musk surveyed his shrinking kingdom in both the US and China, the urgency for a new direction became clear. The company could no longer rely on its past successes to carry it forward. For Tesla, survival now depended on bold new strategies and expansion into emerging markets. The next chapter would determine whether the company could reinvent itself or fade into history as just another disrupted giant. As Tesla's fortunes waned in the West, BRICS' importance soared. The bloc expanded rapidly, now representing 56% of the world's population and 44% of global GDP. BRICS pushed for de-dollarization, developing a multi-currency system to reduce US influence. Trump's administration saw this as a direct threat, responding with tariffs and pressure. For Musk, BRICS offered the largest, fastest-growing consumer markets and more stable trade relationships. Engaging with BRICS was now essential for long-term growth. Trump's tariffs only strengthened BRICS unity, pushing India closer to China. The new development bank provided alternative financing, giving Musk new avenues for expansion outside Washington's control. Despite Musk's pivot, China proved a tough market to crack. Tesla's full self-driving software faced regulatory roadblocks over data and national security concerns. Chinese authorities were wary of foreign companies collecting sensitive driving data. While local rivals advanced, Tesla's flagship feature remained disabled, making its cars seem outdated. Musk's diminished influence in Washington also reduced his value to Beijing. Once a strategic bridge, he was now just another foreign CEO competing with state-backed giants. The government prioritized domestic champions like BYD, leaving Musk to navigate complex regulations and patriotic consumers. Success in China required more than technology. It demanded political savvy and local adaptation. The path forward was far tougher than Musk anticipated. Musk's BRICS pivot was matched by a dramatic political move at home. After a bitter clash with Trump over slashed EV subsidies, Musk founded the America Party, a centrist alternative to the polarized status quo. The gamble alienated him from both major parties and rattled investors. Musk wielded his social media power, intervening in BRICS politics, especially in Brazil, where he amplified pro-Bolsonaro narratives. Critics saw this as self-interest, not free speech, and his actions sparked controversy. Musk was no longer just a CEO, he was a political force, shaping policy and global outcomes. His transformation added new complexity to his audacious global pivot. Musk's dramatic pivot and outspoken activism sent shockwaves across the globe, reverberating through boardrooms, government halls, and trading floors alike. His actions exposed deep fractures in the global order, highlighting the growing rift between established Western powers and emerging alliances. For the BRICS nations, Musk's interest represented a rare opportunity to attract high-profile investment and technological innovation, potentially shifting the balance of economic power. Yet, even as they welcomed the possibilities, leaders remained cautious, fully aware of Musk's reputation for disruption and unpredictability. In Brazil, President Lula fiercely rejected what he saw as interference from both Musk and Trump, framing their involvement as a threat to national sovereignty and economic independence. He vowed strong retaliation against U.S. tariffs, rallying public support and pushing for new economic measures to protect Brazilian interests. This defiance was more than just rhetoric. It reflected a broader surge of confidence among BRICS nations, who now saw themselves as capable of standing up to American pressure and forging their own path. Musk's journey has become a case study in navigating the complexities of a multipolar world, where alliances shift and old rules no longer apply. In this new era, success demands not just technological brilliance, but also political agility, cultural sensitivity, and the ability to adapt to local realities. Musk's struggles in China and Brazil have made it clear that even the most innovative products can falter if they clash with national interests or run afoul of local regulations. Today, governments are more assertive than ever, shaping the rules of the game and demanding that global companies respect their priorities. The future of Musk and his companies now hinges on his ability to navigate this evolving landscape, where power is more diffuse and competition more intense. His bold pivot is a calculated bet on the shifting centers of global power, as influence moves steadily away from the West and toward new players on the world stage. Whether this high-stakes gamble will ultimately pay off remains uncertain, as markets and leaders alike watch his every move. For Musk, reshaping his empire to fit a rapidly changing world is not just another challenge. It may be the most defining test of his career. As the world watches, Musk's latest undertaking could reshape not only his own legacy, but the very future of global business itself.